It's your boy Flex Money back with another video, and today we got the W low. We just gonna do this quick. Well, it's not quick, but you feel me? It's really nothing crazy. It's just it's pretty obvious where LeBron should go next. It is, man. Cavs, Sixers, Minnesota, Heat. No fucking Warriors at all. Like, that shouldn't even be in our minds. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a whole butt. Like, stop saying the freaking Warriors, mother effer. Stop saying the Warriors, bro. Not going to the Warriors, gang. But yeah. You know what else would be a sleeper that would be a good fit for Bron, or that would make sense too, or like a good fit is the Pacers, bro. Am I tweaking? Halliburton. Neymar. Neesmith, I think it's Neesmith. I forgot where everyone. Siakam or LeBron. Siakam. Zubac. Then you got Kelly Oubre coming out the bench. TJ McConnell. God, good God Almighty, dog. Like, am I tweaking? But if you just hit me, select, subscribe, everything you know about the link, I don't know if I said that already, but I'm gonna say it again if I did. But yeah, man, my Twitch, TikTok, all this and like that. Make sure you follow those. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel if you're watching this. Make sure you subscribe to this channel first. We about to hit 60 subscribers on the road to 100. And then, and then we're going on the road to 1K. We're gonna try to get 1K by the end of this year. I know we can do it. I don't care. Yes, I said 1K by the end. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. I promise you we're gonna do it. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said it. I don't know how we gonna do it, but we gonna do it. So I appreciate y'all. Let's get into the video, man. What's up, yapping?
Finally know where LeBron is going to go next, or at least
where you going, man? Where you think you going? How old is it? 2 days ago?
We think we do. In an all-season packed with blockbuster headlines, LeBron has once again become the biggest story after departing from the Los Angeles Lakers. And while everyone is trying to predict his next destination, thanks to Rich Paul, we might have a little bit of a clue. During a podcast with Max Kellerman, Rich Paul essentially laid out LeBron's decision-making process. He revealed the teams that LeBron appears to be seriously considering, but more importantly, he gave us insight on how LeBron is evaluating those destinations. And what made it even more fascinating is how they presented it. On a whiteboard, LeBron's name is smack dab in the middle, and surrounding it is 5 teams: Philadelphia, Miami, Minnesota, Denver, and Cleveland, with projected starting lineups showing the 4 players he'd be joining. Then off to the side were several other teams: Golden State, Dallas, Boston, New York, and San Antonio. But unlike the first 5, there were almost no details attached to any of those teams. Now, you could read into this formatting of all the organizations on the outer circle as teams that they're not seriously considering, or unrealistic destinations, or possibly Rich Paul being the master manipulator, kind of knocking people off the trail or something big to come. Who knows? But what we do know that something is going to happen sooner rather than later. But my problem is I just wouldn't go this route. By publicly narrowing this down, if this does not work out, bro, the criticism is going to be harsh, and I do believe it will be credible, because this does give us very clear insight on how LeBron not only views himself, but how he can complement and help someone else. And if they don't make a deep postseason run, it's going to be tough. And the only reason why I'm going this far and saying this is because some of the teams on this whiteboard does not make any sense whatsoever. Like, why is Dallas here? You sat there and said that you left the Lakers because you wanted a better basketball situation, but under Dallas, all you had was oil, golf, and Masai. What are we talking about?
Oil, golf. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's yeah. But you got Coop and Curry.
And then you have the Knicks, who are on the outer circle, and part of the reason why is because in the same podcast, Rich Paul said because they won a championship is the reason why they're not a real legitimate option, and if they had not won, then LeBron would have already been a New York Knick. In my opinion, that does not make any sense whatsoever, because again, if you are solely doing this for basketball reasons, that is a perfect team to play alongside with. None of this is making any sense whatsoever, and I'm just flabbergasted and floored that many people have allowed him to get away with this, especially because when it comes to New York, they are considerably better than some of the other teams that they've outlined in greater detail. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and start eliminating some of the...
I don't know. Sixers, no. Hell no. What the fuck? That's why he ain't saying nothing about Sixers, bro. They will not be better. They're not better than Sixers without LeBron, bro. No, they're not.
These teams, because it's very clear LeBron needs my help, because boy, some of this stuff does not make any sense. First, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, and outside of the fairy tale story of LeBron going back to the team that he started his career with, his hometown team, and more than likely the organization that he will retire with, outside of that, nothing else really makes any sense. Sure, adding more passing and playmaking to the roster will certainly make the offense more dynamic, especially during the minutes in which James Harden isn't playing.
However, I just really want to, I'm low-key like reacting, but at the same time, I just want to see a low opinion, because I watch a lot when he be streaming.
However, this doesn't really address the concerns or the identity that the Cavaliers have been trying to reach over the past 2 to 3 years. This has been an organization that has killed teams offensively with their three-point shooting, and they've lost a lot of that over the past 2 off seasons. LeBron doesn't really provide the answer in that capacity. Sure, last season was a bad three-point shooting season, and I don't think that is an indicator of who he may be with any team that he goes with, but the volume in which he shoots just does not compare with what in which they potentially will be lacking in this upcoming year. And then defensively, I mean, my goodness, that has probably been the biggest problem with the Cavaliers over the past 2 to 3 seasons, that they have no perimeter defenders at all, like literally at all. No matter how good Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are as backline help, you still need some point of attack defenders. LeBron on ball will be just as bad defensively as Harden and Donovan Mitchell, and so that doesn't really address any of their concerns whatsoever. Sure, the offense will be more dynamic, but their bigger concerns will just completely be a problem for the team. And a similar thing can be said about the Denver Nuggets. Last year, Denver, they struggled mightily defensively, so much so that it hampered Minnesota team was able to beat them because they didn't have any type of defensive resistance, regardless if it was on the perimeter or inside.
I don't care. Minnesota makes sense, bro. Minnesota makes sense, bro.
And again, LeBron is not going to fix that whatsoever. Also, the best benefit that LeBron will bring to a team is passing and playmaking. However, this team has built their identity with a two-man game between Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, and regardless of how you may feel about a 40-plus-year-old LeBron, it will make way more sense for him to be off ball rather than trying to mix in LeBron to something that has been working and rather successful over the past handful of years. Sure, the non-Jokic minutes can definitely stay afloat much better, but adding someone like LeBron on the roster without addressing other concerns, especially on the other side of the floor, just so you can stay afloat for 10 to 12 minutes in a game, does not make any sense. Also, Peyton Watson, still got to figure out what's going on in him, and I feel like that'll be a way better fit for them moving forward rather than them trying to carve out some money to give to LeBron, regardless if it's on a vet minimum or a mid-level exception. Same thing can be said about the Cavs as well. They have to move over Dennis Schroeder and make some more financial wiggle room to add LeBron, so no. Both of those teams should not be on the whiteboard at all. It does not make any sense whatsoever, which then moves us to the other three teams, and Miami, in my opinion, is in a very similar situation. Now, defensively, this is probably the best situation that LeBron can find himself in. Sharing the floor with Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam means that LeBron will be the worst defensive player in the starting five, which I do believe at this stage of his career should be the situation that he places himself in. But then offensively, I do not like the fit whatsoever. That team needs a lot more three-point shooting. That's something that they've been trying to address. They got Tim Hardaway, but I just don't think the fit between Giannis, Bam, and LeBron in the front court is going to go over seamlessly. There's already questions and concerns about Giannis and Bam in the same front court with one another, especially if the last player in that front court isn't a three-point shooter. So I don't know how this functionally works. LeBron, again, best suited with the ball in his hands, playing alongside Giannis and Bam, who have thrived as hubs or offensive weapons with, again, the ball in their hands, and they're not three-point shooters either.
What team he going? Where team LeBron should go to, or makes the most sense?
I just don't like the fit for them offensively whatsoever.
Do all this and I see that.
And this is from the woman over there.
You just earned 5% cash back on that. Also, if I start a conga line, will you join?
Earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases when you activate.
But no, they wouldn't do that. That would be stupid. That would be dumb. That's it. The Lakers shit over with.
CarMax.
Over with now.
Which then brings us to the Timberwolves and the Sixers.
Hey,
I'll be honest with you.
I'm telling you, gang. I'm fucking telling you, gang. The Sixers, Timberwolves are perfect fits for LeBron. I'm telling you now, gang. I've been saying Timberwolves and the Sixers, bro. I'm a cuter, but they should be the two. Minnesota Sixers. Which one you picking? Dead ass.
I probably would have leaned Minnesota if they did not trade for LaMelo. I still like the idea of him going out there playing with LaMelo and McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. Another situation where defensively he will be surrounded with a lot of really good pieces. And also, even though with the addition of LaMelo, it certainly wouldn't hurt.
Cavs, still Heat, and Sixers.
To have another passer and playmaker on the floor, especially during the minutes in which Melo more than likely won't play because
I like the Pacers, bro. It just makes sense because during last year, Pacers, bro, it's just, I don't know.
There is a real concern with his health and availability.
Halliburton not like.
So LeBron being able to fill that role, even at times when Melo is on the court with him, I do like that idea. Furthermore, with Melo and Bron, potentially we're going to get a more engaged Anthony Edwards defensively. You pair that with Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. Again, I really do like the fit. The three-point shooting is there as well in the backcourt. All of it is really, really great. The only problem that I have with the Timberwolves, and that's even without LeBron, is he lack of size inside. Man. Losing both Julius Randle and Naz Reid in the same offseason killed them with their interior presence. And there's going to be moments in playoff series where Rudy Gobert, he's just not going to get that much burn because of his own inabilities. At that moment, I just don't know if LeBron, at the age in which he will be next year and playing even more minutes in a deep postseason run, I just don't know how many times you can really rely on him to play small ball 5 lineups the way in which the team has had to rely on Naz Reid and Julius Randle. Again, this is a problem that the Timberwolves have to address anyway, so I would personally address that concern before we even get into talking about bring in someone as dynamic as LeBron offensively, because personally I like the idea of having LaMelo and Ayo as enough dynamic offensive weaponry around Anthony Edwards and everyone else before bringing in someone else without actually addressing the lack of size inside. So there's that. And to my Bron fans, I know you're going to sit here and say, well, he's 6'9" and 2 whatever. Bro, he doesn't play like a 5. He doesn't play big like that. Like, he's not going to go out there and constantly hustle for an offensive rebound or go out there and give you maximum effort inside. That's not who he is. He's going to pace himself. He's not going to play at that level consistently, which then brings us to the Philadelphia 76ers. And I cannot lie, in my opinion, of all the teams that he has lined out and in great detail, this is the best option for him. Not only because this is a team that clearly needs an adequate passer and playmaker to the level of a LeBron James. Maxey, over the past 2 years, or really since Harden has departed, has tried his hardest to replicate what James brought to that team a few years ago. Unfortunately, he has not been able to elevate to that level. Certainly improve, but not the passer and playmaker that you would need for a team that has a lot of players that cannot create for themselves. Jaylen Brown does provide a lot more shot creation, but he too lacks in the ability to create for others. So adding someone like LeBron on his team offensively, who can be a table setter, kind of generate offense for everyone else, put them in situations to where they can maximize who they are offensively. And then defensively, I like what VJ Edgecombe brought to the table last year as a point of attack defender, high motor, also helped around a little bit, but certainly keep him on the perimeter as much as possible. And then Jaylen Brown, he's not the greatest off-ball defender, so keeping him engaged defending wings is probably the best bet for this team as well. And then having LeBron kind of roam around and help out defensively, especially during moments in which Embiid is on the floor as well. I think he can hide himself as much as he possibly can around Embiid's rim protection while also kind of playing that free safety game that he normally plays, middle linebacker, roaming around, playing passing lanes, baiting opposing teams into passes that they really don't want to do. That right there, in my opinion, is the best fit for LeBron on both sides of the floor, especially because the thing in which LeBron provides to this team, they desperately are going to need, and that is a high-level passer and playmaker. While also, to be fair to everyone else, having other players on that roster who can handle the ball and take away some of that heavy load that comes with being a passer and playmaker off of LeBron's shoulder occasionally from time to time. So I like that fit. I think that's actually the best fit. Of course, it always comes down to how healthy can Embiid be, but if I am LeBron, that is very easily one of the better options. I don't know why these other teams are even there. Some of these teams, again, don't even make that much sense. So I like LeBron on the Sixers. They complement each other very well on both sides of the floor, and if Embiid is healthy, which is a major if, I could easily see the Sixers making a conference finals appearance and pushing their way into the NBA finals, and from there, who knows? But in my opinion, Bro, none of these teams that he's outlined and given us all the lineups, none of them are the best option. And I don't know why we are doing this. I don't know why we're acting like we all don't know what the best option is. And no, it's not Golden State, even though I do like the idea of LeBron playing with Steph, Draymond, get 80 down there, have yourself a good old unction, right? It seems as if like the Wizards are unwilling to trade Anthony Davis, especially if the only thing they're going to receive in return is Jimmy Butler. And it seems as if like the Golden State Warriors are unwilling to trade Jimmy Butler because they want to see what he looks like after he comes back from his injury. So sure, potentially, you know, Rich Paul doing a little bit of manipulating there, still keeping him in the frame, right? And I certainly believe there was a plan set in place, because it doesn't make any sense for Draymond to opt out of his contract to try to restructure something unless the restructuring was to make enough room to add LeBron in free agency. I do believe there was a plan there, but you got to get the Wizards to play ball for something to actually transpire because of the amount of money that AD is seeking. And then you even have the Boston Celtics. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, playing with Tatum, Paul George, not only Brad, but also Joe Mazzulla from a head coaching perspective, or the bunch of floor spacing, willing defenders. I don't know, maybe bad blood, maybe the history that you have with the Boston Celtics franchise and their fan base, that's the reason why they're on the outer circle. But Boston would be a better situation than like Denver or the Cavaliers. I don't understand why you don't have their lineup there. Again, maybe because of the history, I understand that, but I don't know why they would even be on the whiteboard anyway if that was the case.
Welcome to the Birdie Club.
Not no damn
Oh,
Celtics.
damn, Ken. You're on our team.
He definitely not going to Celtics. He don't like Celtics.
But in my opinion,
The fans don't like him, and he don't like
the best option for LeBron, and it's not even close, especially if he is going to a team specifically for basketball reasons, which is the reason why he left the Lakers. He felt as if like that was not a team that could elevate him and help him win a championship before he retires. Cool. If you want to maximize yourself winning a championship and the best fit for you, it is the San Antonio Spurs, and it's not even remotely close. For starters, San Antonio has the guard play that LeBron has consistently asked for in LA to make sure he's not overtaxed in terms of passing and playmaking. You have Fox, you have Castle, you have Harper.
That ain't going to Spurs. That ain't going to have to root for Bro, gonna have to root for Brown to get a ring.
So they have that. Secondly, they have the defensive pieces on the perimeter and interior to help him out as well. Again, Fox, Castle, Harper, Carter Bryant, Devin Vassell was actually a really good.
Brown was on the team during this finals. The Spurs are easily winning. Easily.
Good defensive player as well. And of course, anchoring all of this.
It's going to be reversed 4-1. The Spurs will win 4-1.
Is Victor Wembanyama on the back line. More importantly, bro, they need exactly what LeBron provides to this team, and that is experience, passing, playmaking, comprehending how to break down defenses in a half-court set. The Spurs losing the finals in the way in which they did would have never have happened if LeBron was on the roster. How often they blew.
See, I just said it.
Double-digit leads in the second half because they were unorganized and couldn't get into quick sets in half-court offense. Just would not have happened if LeBron was there. Way too much experience, way too much of a passer and playmaker. IQ was out the wazoo. He is the actual experience that they needed, not De'Aaron Fox. But more importantly, having the opportunity to play next to Victor Wembanyama, I just don't understand how anyone would ever pass up that opportunity, especially because LeBron, who would play the 4, LeBron would be an extra passer and playmaker to give Wemby easy looks routinely. LeBron being able to share his knowledge with Victor Wembanyama so he can continue to develop. LeBron being on the floor with
LeBron, I would dead ass try to get 30. Hey, I'm telling Wemby, every time I get the ball, I'm passing you the ball. LeBron's gonna average a double-double every fucking game. I promise you. I know he will. I know that motherfucker. That motherfucker is gonna average a double-double a game. Straight assists to Wemby.
Someone like Wemby playing backline to where defensively you can really rest a few of these possessions because you know you have somebody behind you that can clean up a lot of your messes. And again, on the offensive side of the floor, bro, LeBron and someone like Wemby, a lob threat like that, he just throw the ball up, Wemby grabbing it and dunking it. Bro, it makes way too much sense. Way too much sense. Wemby is one of the very few stars in the NBA, easily the best star in the NBA, where he's going to impact the game at an extremely high level without touching the basketball. without touching it. So the fact that LeBron is even having this discussion, 3-point shooting, ball handling, defense, effort, energy, a deep bench. Like, there's so many things that benefit and a team that just made it to the finals, that they can clearly compete at the highest of levels. There is no, if you are LeBron and you are genuinely trying to piece together a team to win a championship with, it is quite literally a no-brainer. Like, I don't even know why we have this conversation right now. It is very easily the San Antonio Spurs. There's no other team that anyone could ever convince me would not be a better suited situation for LeBron. And the fact that we've been sitting here playing with this situation means that his decision has more to do with just basketball. Because if he was just making a simple basketball decision, if it's just simply, hey, I'm going to go to a team that I best complement and they best complement me, they can give me defensive personnel, some relief offensively, something that I can aid and develop as well. But all of that, is in San Antonio.
Where he gonna stay? I'm telling you, it's not just about, you feel me? Yeah.
While also playing at the highest of levels, bro, all that's in San Antonio. Like, be honest with ourselves. This shouldn't be a conversation. It shouldn't be. But the fact that it is, I'm telling you right now, bro, Rich Paul and LeBron are about to make a dumb decision. They're about to make a dumb decision. If it is not San Antonio, Boston, or the Sixers, it shouldn't even be a conversation, especially because LeBron at this point, he's willing to take any amount of money just to play with the right team that can give him the best opportunity that will allow him to have fun and really compete at the highest level. Cool. San Antonio. Not that difficult. I'm so serious, it's not that difficult. And if he doesn't choose San Antonio, look, I don't like to go too deep into narratives, but if LeBron decides not to play with the Spurs, I can only come to the conclusion it's because he does not want to aid a player in Wemby that has a real potential to be better than him all time en route to win a championship earlier than he did. Because Wemby in his first postseason run made it all the way to the finals. So then him joining that roster, I'm just saying, this is the only way I can really think of it. You joining the roster, joining the coattails of Wemby, guaranteeing yourself a championship on the way out, while also aiding him as well. I don't think that that's something that LeBron wants to do. But if he didn't care, not only would the Spurs be on the list of teams that had the lineups, but they would be like the number one option.
Yeah, he's not going to the Spurs, but hell no. Yeah, and what you just said, yes, you're right. Okay? You're right, Lo.
Like, very clearly. Sure. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Please let me know yours in the comment section below. Where do you think LeBron should go? No. Next, how should he end his career? The role and responsibility. Do you think it's a smart idea to reveal to everybody
he said that perfectly, though. I ain't gonna lie.
How you're going through everything, your thought process. I don't think it is, but we'll see. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.
I ain't gonna lie, he ain't lying on the Celtics though. I'ma just keep it, but he not going to the Celtics, but the Celtics looking would be a good fit. I'ma just keep it a bucky with you, Sean. But alright, man, if you're new to the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, man. It's your boy Flex Money, and I'm out. Peace.